This is Rookie Spring again. I told you I'd do another video about the movements. Um, I will just reiterate that the way I have it set up now is by the way, I flew this plane 3 times if you saw the videos. The first flight wasn't too bad. I mean, the CG seemed like it was a little bit tail heavy. But other than that, it wasn't horrible. I landed okay. I ran out of a little runway because I landed a little bit late. I heard my beeper going off, so I landed a little weird, but no problem. And then the second flight, I did a lot more high-speed passes and kind of ran my battery. Well, not kind of. I did. I ran my battery all the way down to 0, and then I dead sticked it in, and didn't do too much damage. Just kind of like nipped my verticals here, the pods, and then the tips, and I damaged a little scrapes on the nose, but no big deal. Amazingly, it held up pretty damn good. So then I actually moved these stabs in last night. I moved them in a little bit, and I wanted to test it today. I wanted to fly it twice, but as you'll see in the video, I can only fly it once because my stupid connection on my battery was just too sketchy to put it back in there. So, and I don't want to, obviously run out of complete power. Before it was just it's a failsafe. When the battery runs out, it cuts it off at a certain voltage, cuts the motor off, but it keeps you still in control, which is what you want when you land, especially a dead stick. So, anyways, no problem there. And then the third flight I did today and landed it very, 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 very well. The only difference was, or the only problem I had was when I adjusted these stabs, I put them in, I was actually nose down, and I really didn't want to mess with my trim while I was flying around, so I really couldn't do. I did a couple high speeds, but not too crazy. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I just trimmed them back, trimmed them up today, and now they should be fine. See, now this is. I can fly around just with the tail, just like this. It's plenty to actually fly around, just normal. It will roll, but it won't go crazy roll. And then I actually flew today because of that little bit of a nose trimmed down, or with the stabs. I actually flew it like this, so I gave myself more elevator because obviously if you're now it doesn't show it here, but I mean I'm actually flying a little bit. Nose up pressure, pull back pressure, just to keep her straight. So I needed more elevator to do that. So I kicked that on, and that gives me 50% travel right there. So the low rates is 30%, and then high rates is 50%. And that's actually it. Even with the nose down attitude, I could still pull pretty hard, no problem. And I could roll fine too, and I actually turned on my ailerons, which those are at 50% as well. I made them the same, or excuse me, they're at 30%. That's just 30% roll right there. I didn't go to the next step and try to go 50, although I could have, but I didn't. I haven't done that yet. So basically it's, a 3-step process where, you flip on your elevator, give more elevator, and then throw on your ailerons for your wings, and then the next step would be to throw on a higher roll rate. And of course you can shut off your wings too and just do your higher roll rate with your tail if you want to. But as a safety feature, it is nice to have your ailerons on, just in case you lose a stab, and that's happened to me in the past. I never really did that before when I was flying around. I would just throw ailerons to do tricks and stuff, but now I've been training myself to kind of as a habit throw on the ailerons just in case something goes wrong, and then just keep them toned down. If you're going to do any high speed passes, obviously if you're trimmed out correctly, you shouldn't have a problem with just low rate elevators. So obviously the faster you go, the less movement you want, so no problem there. But I did want to show you guys that rudder feature. Now the rudder feature unfortunately goes on with my ailerons. I say unfortunately because if I'm flying around with the ailerons on and then I land and I try to steer, my rudder that I'm going to show you right now will be engaged. I'll probably have a different switch for that, just because I probably am going to land and fly around with ailerons on more often now. So when I was telling you earlier about the whole flight controls, if you do right stick only with this is with your rudder now. And this, I still haven't really tried this in the air, so bear with me here. But what's going to happen is these flight controls that go right rudder, they move opposite. And when I mean opposite, this stab is trying to raise the tail, right? Think of it, this way. It's trying to raise the tail up, okay? Now, it's not going to raise the tail up with the back flat like that. So it's actually going to try to roll to the left. So you get more lift here on one side. You're not symmetrical. It's going to try to roll to the left, okay? Picture this now. It's rolling to the left, right? Now your wing, your aileron, is doing the opposite. It's trying to roll to the right. So in theory, now obviously I'm going to have to mess with the magnitude, because this is a lot of roll to the left, and that's probably going to outweigh, or I should say beat that. So I'll definitely have to tone this down, but this is just an experiment. What's going to happen is this is going to, if they're going to cancel each other out, which that's what you want. If this thing tries to roll left so much, and then that wing tries to roll to the right so much, they're going to cancel each other out. But you still have the inputs in the air, so that creates a lot of drag. And what that's going to do is going to be a little confusing. But what's that going to do is it's going to try to drag that whole side to one side, or it's basically going to create that drag, okay? And then what that does, because rudder does this too, is it actually puts that left wing into the airstream first, and that's actually going to roll slightly to the right, just like a rudder. Now, how the heck am I going to figure that out? I'm going to have to do trial and error to see which one acts more like a rudder. And then the same thing with the left side. Obviously right now I don't know what the percentages are. I have to look, but obviously these are way too much compared to the ailerons. I think these are going to win. So what's probably going to happen is I'll get a left roll, like almost like a flat roll, left roll tendency. And if it's obviously doing that, I know it's not working, because if the rudder's correct, it should actually slightly roll to the right as the ass end kicks the opposite way, if you know what I mean. So that's that, and I'm just showing you that. That's just an experiment. And then the next thing I wanted to show you, I wanted to show you how crazy this movement is. And I'll shut off my ailerons just to show you the stabs, okay? Now these, right now, this is at 50%. 50%, which I haven't tried yet with my ailerons. That's 50% aileron, 50% elevator, which I was doing that all day, and it was fine. You could do a nice tight loop just like that, no problem. Now I'm going to flip. I actually set up 2 mixes for each side to show you how crazy this is. Now this is 100%. I could go 125 with these turbos, but I just want to show you what 100% is. That's 100%. I mean, look at that. That's just elevator up, and this elevator up, and this elevator down, and it's almost touching the ground. This is roll left, this is roll right. I mean, that's just crazy. And then if I go to the corners, I actually touch. If you see, look over there, I'm actually touching the ground with with that stab. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't really want to know what this thing will do with that much crazy. I mean, I don't know what it will do. I don't know if I have enough strength to do that. Like, I don't know if it's going to rip something apart. I may work my way up to that. I wouldn't think you would do that at high speed. That would just be too crazy. I don't really trust it. This right here, I went back. Just this right here, that's full back stick. I still haven't even really done that. I mean, well, maybe when I landed, I think I flared out. I don't remember hitting the stop. When I landed, I'm landing, and I just kind of popped it a little. I don't think I hit all the way back, but that's only 50% movement. And then, like I said, I haven't even done the ailerons left and right, or I mean 50%. That's only 30%, but I did add my wing, and of course that helps it more to roll more, But yeah, that's it's kind of crazy, man. I don't. I'll have to work up to it, but this plane is pretty damn fast. I haven't clocked it yet. But yeah, I mean, that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, as usual. Don't have to subscribe, you know. I mean, that's, you know, up to you guys if you want to keep updated or whatever. I never have commercials on my channel. I don't believe in it. Obviously, if I got, you know, tons of views, I may think about it, but when it's, you know, this low in views and just, you know, just for fun, I don't think it's right to put commercials on there. So, all right. With that said, I will see you guys, and happy flying. Be safe. Happy 4th of July, and Ruckus bring it out.